Good afternoon, and welcome to the very first episode of the RFW Podcast. My name is Kevin Richardson. I'm an exercise science student at Georgia State University, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today in this episode. We're tackling a fascinating topic: the impact of minimalist footwear on activities of daily living, injury prevention, gait stability, and rehabilitation. I chose to explore this subject not only for its relevance to athletes and fitness enthusiasts, but also because of my personal experience with hallux valgus or bunions, which I have had on both feet for years now. I used to run track and play football and would wear tight cleats and tight spikes and tight shoes to have better feel for the ground was my thinking. But it led me to have foot pain later on down the line from the tightness of the shoes as well as the repetition of running and jumping. I felt not only have I felt, I've had a lot of improvement, especially foot pain. I don't really have any foot pain anymore unless I am wearing traditional cushion shoes. In comparison to my barefoot shoes, traditional shoes are so much more narrow. Even if I go up in size, the toe box is so much more narrow that they do cause me some discomfort. But when wearing barefoot shoes, I have little to no discomfort at all, which is ironic because they're not cushioned and I'm actually having to use my foot more, so you would think they would be less comfortable, but they're honestly more comfortable. Additionally, my lower body mobility has improved dramatically, allowing me to move more freely and comfortably throughout my day. I'm able to get throughout the day without very much or even any at all lower body pain, unless it's soreness from working out hard. And I'm also a lot more mobile than I was before. I'm able to squat to the ground without pain or without a lack of range of motion. I'm able to do the splits. I've just become a lot more mobile and stable since switching to barefoot shoes. These positive changes in my foot health can be attributed to many factors, but they led me to ask a crucial question: what impact, if any, does wearing barefoot or minimalist footwear have on injury prevention and rehabilitation? So today, I'll share insights from research and professional experience to explore how minimalist footwear can influence not just comfort, but also performance, balance, and overall health. Okay, so let's start off talking about what is a barefoot shoe or a minimalist shoe. I'll use those interchangeably, barefoot and minimalist shoe today, and what makes them unique in comparison to traditional shoes. Minimalist footwear mimics the experience of walking barefoot. These shoes are lightweight, flexible, and have thin soles, offering less support than traditional cushioned shoes. This design encourages natural foot movement and a more active role for your foot muscles. But why is that important? Many people wear heavily cushioned shoes to absorb shock, yet research suggests that cushioned shoes may encourage a heel strike, which increases stress on the knees and contribute to overuse injuries. Minimalist shoes, by contrast, promote a forefoot or midfoot strike, which shifts impact forces to muscles in the lower leg and foot. This change can lower knee strain, but requires careful adaptation to avoid overloading the foot. And when you think about the biomechanics of gait, you would think that it would make more sense to land on your forefoot versus landing on your heel. When we're walking, our gait is a series of controlled falls and regaining our balance. So it would make more sense for us to use that momentum from falling and using the front of our foot to spring forward into our next step versus using our heel and stopping and then starting over every time. It's less efficient. And like I said, it leads to knee problems, or not just knee problems, but all sorts of problems. Knees, hips. If your knees are bad, then your hips are bad. If your hips are bad, then your feet are bad. If your feet are bad, then your lower back's bad. You know, our whole body's in one kinetic chain, and they all work together. And if one thing's off, then the whole train is just about to crash. So let's talk about how minimalist shoes can prevent injuries. Studies show that minimalist shoes may reduce knee strain by redistributing impact forces to the lower leg muscles versus to the knee joint. For runners, this can mean fewer knee-related injuries. However, there's a trade-off. With more stress placed on the forefoot, there is a risk of conditions like plantar fasciitis or metatarsal stress fractures if you transition too quickly. This is why a gradual transition is very important. Start by wearing your minimalist shoes for short periods of time. I would suggest during exercise, stretching, or short walks, just to get more comfortable with it and to allow your body a chance to adapt. And it's a big, I think just anecdotally, my biggest experiences when I first started wearing minimalist shoes, I experienced a lot of soleus and calf soreness, just due to the fact that they were having to work a lot more when I was walking versus when wearing traditional shoes. Now let's talk a little bit about gait stability. Now, what is gait stability? It's the ability to walk without falling, or a gait that does not lead to a fall. Beyond injury prevention, minimalist footwear can also improve gait stability, an essential factor for everyone, but especially for older adults. Research by Pearson and colleagues found that minimalist footwear can improve gait stability markers like toe clearance and stride consistency. This means you're less likely to trip or stumble. For older adults, this could significantly reduce fall risk, a critical concern for maintaining independence. Interestingly, another study by Hernandez compared minimalist shoes, traditional shoes, and barefoot walking, and found that minimalist footwear provided the best balance improvements overall. This makes them an excellent option not only for athletes but for older adults in rehabilitation programs and aiming to regain balance and confidence in their movements. And confidence goes a long way with anyone, but especially older adults who are at risk of falling or who have fallen already and gotten injured because of those falls. Now let's talk about the biomechanics of wearing barefoot shoes as opposed to traditional shoes. When it comes to biomechanics, minimalist shoes also shine. Unlike cushioned shoes, which often encourage overstriding, minimalist footwear promotes shorter strides and a higher cadence. These changes improve gait efficiency and reduce unnecessary impact forces. For example, a study by Huber et al. Showed that minimalist shoes increase ground reaction forces, but also engage lower leg muscles more effectively. This engagement helped distribute impact forces more evenly, leading to more natural and efficient movement patterns. However, as with anything, context matters. For people recovering from injuries, minimalist footwear can help restore natural movement mechanics, but starting wearing them too soon, especially for extended periods of time, can cause setbacks, like we talked about with injuries I spoke on before. That's why you need to get checked by your doctor or your exercise professional before you start this transition, because it is such a traumatic transition. Now let's talk a little bit more about rehabilitation and the long-term benefits of wearing minimalist shoes. Minimalist shoes aren't just about injury prevention, they're also a powerful tool in rehabilitation. For individuals recovering from surgery or injuries, these shoes can help rebuild strength and flexibility in the feet and lower legs. For example, Zek et al. Explored how footwear impacts balance training. Their findings suggest that minimalist shoes may enhance balance adaptation rates, making them a great addition to rehab programs. By promoting natural foot movement, they support recovery and encourage long-term mobility improvements. For older adults, minimalist shoes can make a real difference in maintaining independence, enhance stability, and better control over foot placement, allowing them to move with greater confidence and reducing risk of fall. Let's talk a little bit more about balance and the risks of falling. While minimalist shoes offer numerous benefits, they aren't a universal solution. Their success depends on the individual, their goals, and their willingness to transition gradually. For younger athletes, these shoes might boost performance and reduce knee injuries, but they'll need to focus on avoiding overuse injuries. For older adults, the priority is enhancing stability and balance without placing undue strain on their feet. It's also important to consider terrain. Uneven surfaces can amplify the challenges of minimalist footwear, so users should practice on stable ground first. to wrap up today's podcast, minimalist footwear represents a fascinating evolution in how we think about shoes and their role in movement, injury prevention, rehabilitation, and rehabilitation. By promoting natural mechanics, improving stability, and reducing strain on certain joints, these shoes offer distinct advantages for a wide range of people. While current findings are promising, more research is necessary to fully understand the long-term effects of minimalist footwear on injury prevention and rehabilitation. As research continues to unfold, exercise professionals and individuals can make more informed decisions on integrating minimalist footwear into their routines for optimal health and performance. Thank you for tuning in to my podcast, the RFW Podcast. This was the Right to Bare Feet. And if you have any questions to me, leave a comment for anything you want me to discuss in future episodes. Please feel free to reach out to me. Until next time, take care.